That right side is going to be tough. A18 for Shadow. That is going to be a top out for Shadow at A18. So he's just about a triple away. So and he's got it. So Cobra's got it. Purple bracket, Sidnev versus Cobra. The winner goes to the top 8 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is seed number 5 this month with a 1.67 million average of her top 2 scores played in a 60-minute qualifying period. Sidnev from the Netherlands. And in virtue of her top 8 seeding, this is the first match she has to play in this month's tournament. They get a 2-round bye. They don't have to play round 1, don't have to play round 2. That's why the seeding in this tournament, super important. Kind of an undershift for Cobra, so that's going to create a little bit of a hole. He's taking care of it. Sidnev, of course, fresh off of her finals appearance in Mega Masters. He's a former CTM Masters event winner back in August of 2024. Now 7 finals appearances, including Mega Masters. Was the runner-up in CTWC's gold bracket in 2023. Third in CTWC's DAS event, their world championship in Germany in 2022. And has also top 8'd the CTWC Gold in 2022 as well. Sidnev, back-to-back winner of the Austria event the last 2 years, and also back-to-back winner of CTEC Classic Tetris European Championship 2021 and 2022. And Sidnev has the, which is very relevant here, 188 for Sidnev, 170 for Cobra. You want to know who has the highest score on a level 39 line cap game? Yeah, it's Sidnev with a 2.13 million. And yeah, that's it's pretty good. Oh, and Sidnev has been in the at least the top 4 or higher 3 out of the 4 years that we have done Mega Masters. Only failing that in 2024 when she was in the top 16. So pretty respectable. But yeah. So, of course, one of the top players doing top player things. 257 for Sidnev. 243 for Cobra. And on the right side, it is Cobra, who, in virtue of his top 16 seeding, seed number 12, got a first round bye, had to play in round 2, defeated Somalian, qualified in with a 1.422 million. Players board's getting a little bit high, but keeping the right sides open. Oh, nice adjustment of the Sidnev was gonna take a burn with that T, but instead would forego the burn and just take the long bar to bring that stack down. So 314 now for Sidnev. Doc Pie loves it. 297 for Cobra. So Cobra, yeah, qualified in with a 1.422 million. That's where that 1.42 came from, Cobra. I typed the wrong thing. But has an overall PB of 4.66 million. That is good for about 17th on the overall leaderboard if it were there. And Cobra was ranked number 13 in the most recent Premier poll. That's Sidnev was 6th on that. And you can see the full rankings at premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end, poll with 2 L's. Cobra is a former Challenger Circuit winner. That was in November 2024, the last ever Challenger Circuit. He was top 4 at Lone Star last year, played in Mega Masters this year, also played in CTWC's Gold bracket last year. Was the winner of this year's Boston Tea Parity, the Boston 2 Parity event, and also played in the Oklahoma event last year. So that is Cobra and Sidnev. 480 for Sidnev, 403 for Cobra. Yeah, it's actually 8 finals overall. One, yes, but yeah, 7 finishing in the finals, and then 1 with the win in August 2024. 450 for Cobra, 513 for Sidnev. There's a dirty Tetris, 1 row off, column 3 for Sidnev. We are approaching our level 19 transition. That's where the speed increases by exactly 50%. Yeah, pieces dropping 1 row every 3 frames. Soon we'll be dropping 1 row every 2 frames. As soon as level 19 hits 130, Sidnev is in to level 19 at 585, and you can see the speed quite a bit faster. Cobra is in at 543. So right now, Sidnev with about a 42,000 point lead. Tetris is on level 19, are worth 24,000 points. Tetris Cobra, another Tetris Cobra, 595. Sidnev an answer back, so 45,000 point lead. Now, when the lines are tied like they are right now, it's a 20,000 point lead. But they will be offset in lines until one of them maybe starts playing higher or has to go through a dig or something like that. Tetris Cobra 673, 1 line apart, and a little bit of digging though for Sidnev, so that means they are virtually tied now. Same lines, Cobra ahead by not even 2,000 points. By the way, 20 Dan 03, thank you for the resub, 49 months overall. Really appreciate the support throughout the years. 20 Dan 03. And somehow the match on YouTube is not going in the right slot. So I don't know. YouTube is just a real mess for streaming. I don't know why they do it the way they do it. But thanks to those of you who have found us. 830 for Sidnev, 808 for Cobra. All right, Sidnev doing cleanup, getting set up. Long bar over. Tetris Sidnev. 901. 874. Cobra. 1 line apart. 25,000 or 26,000 points apart. Tetris Sidnev. We're into level 26. Under 30 lines to go until level 29. If you were watching earlier, watching Das Masters, you know that is the kill screen for Das. Well, these people, they're not playing Das. They are rolling. They're using the super fast play style that allows them to get pieces up, pieces over left and right quickly, allows them to stack super high, and therefore allows them to play well beyond what used to be called the kill screen. But that is a speed increase. The speed doubles. And that's going to hit Sidnev at about 5 lines. Got a Tetris well open. All right, Sidnev going to transition in. A little bit of a dirty board, though. B27, Cobra trying to keep that well open. The long bar gets down for Cobra, but he is transitioning in very dangerously. What can he do on that left side? The answer is nothing. And Cobra is going to top out at A32. Sidnev is good in game number 1. Sidnev is up 1 game to none. All right, the piece is coming out red, white, and blue, just like the colors of the flags for these two individuals, or at least their nations anyway. I don't know if they have flags, but the nations in which they reside have flags, and these colors are the colors of their nation's flags. Wow. Sidnev with the 11 pushdown points. Cobra with the 5 pushdown points. Usually you'll see Sidnev with the 1 pushdown point. But maybe Cobra reacting, maybe this is game theory kicking in. So now Cobra with the getting pushdown points. All right, and his pushdown point is at 1 as well. There is a line spin for Sidnev. We take those here. Tetris, Cobra. So at least they've both got a 1 in their ones digit. Tetris, Cobra, 160. And, the one, maybe a little bit of a meme, but also, if you and your opponent both club 0, right? If you both top out at 0, you win because you push down. And, that could happen, and it's free to do. So why not do it? And I've also heard it's Sidnev maybe, checking, I don't know, or just kind of getting a feel for the controller somehow. This is what I've heard. I don't know. Tetris, Sidnev, 162. Cobra, kind of a messy board built on top of a dirty Tetris setup. He's going to uncover that right side, chop it down, and gets that dirty left well Tetris. It's 3 rows up. And now he can transfer that well over to the right side, where he does, and he gets a Tetris. 261 for Cobra, 230 for Sidnev. $277 Sidnev through 68 lines. Long bar down, Tetris, Cobra, 330 through 69 lines. All right, 2 lines apart and about a Tetris worth of points apart. All right, Cobra, those last minute, triple machine movements or whatever, just very last moment adjustments for Cobra. 423 for Cobra, 437 for Sidnev. We've crossed the 100 line mark. 492 Cobra, 461 Sidnev. Pretty decent paces. You're looking usually for about, for a good aggressive pro level tournament pace, you're looking for about 100,000 points on 18 for every 20 lines cleared. So if you were at, 100 lines, it'd be 500,000. So if you're within shouting distance of that, you're doing okay. Tetris Sidnev 575 through 123, 563. Now Cobra 585 through 119. The Vitz is filled in for Sidnev. Kind of did it the way that, like, my favorite way, which is like the J on top of the L upside down. I mean, that's just bonkers, and I like it. So 622 for Sidnev into 19. Cobra's in with a 655. Tetris Sidnev 674. Another Tetris Sidnev 699. 707 Cobra. Just 8,000 points, 3 lines apart. All right, Cobra. Yeah, that long bar is going to help. That's going to help. All right, he's uncovered that right side. And now, going to bring this down. Oh, covered well. Long bar over Tetris Cobra, 742, but Sidnev now out to a bit of a lead, 834. Both are in 22 now. With Sidnev about to exit as soon as that next bar comes. And there's the bar, and Sidnev 863, level 23. So Cobra here in the top 16 is looking to make it into the top 8 of our Masters event for the first time. Now, of course, this would be if he can win, he'll make it to the top 8 of the Masters event for the first time. Of course, Sidnev, a ton of high finishes in these events. A81 for Sidnev. She's got the max out on 26. 896 for Cobra. Tetris Cobra 932. There's one Sidnev B80 on 27. The 1.1. And long bar down. That'll be a 1.2. So the C14 for Sidnev. And of course, if you're trying to make your first top 8, you are not really all that excited to meet a player like Sidnev or in the top 16. But really, once you get to the top 16, there's no holes. There's just no easy matches anymore. And Sidnev looking for one last bar. Gets the bar and has a 1.3 into 29. Of course, Sidnev is the player with the level 39 cap world record. And we've seen her with pacing all the time. And there's a top out for Cobra, who had a 1.1 into or just about after 29. And a great score for Cobra, but Sidnev just insane right now. Sidnev, you want to mullen it out? Go ahead. You can mullen it out. I don't think Sidnev listens to comms, so she's probably just going because she doesn't know what Cobra's score was. But Cobra needs to win to extend this match. The Z. J at no, so we're no rainbow star, although we did get one and I missed it. I did not see it when we got it last month. Was it last month? No, it was this month. I don't know. Some month. It happened. I don't know when anything is anymore. So game number three between these two. These players have not met in CTM before for, as long as they've been playing. I mean, Cobra really, I guess, starting to make Masters consistently, like what, last year? They have only met in CTL. That was in 2024. And Cobra took that match 3-2. $104 Sidnev, 183 Cobra. All right, and players are getting droughted, and I'm sure they are not going to be pleased with being droughted, but that Tetris do be like that. And now the long bar spigot has been opened. Sidnev digging. Cobra covers that well. It wasn't exactly a Tetris well, but a long bar would have gone nicely in there. And both players digging. And both boards seem to be coming down. All right, Cobra clean with a covered well. Long bar over. Tetris Cobra. 225. And Sidnev's board kind of treading water. Tetris Cobra 273. Okay, so Sidnev able to access that gap, and a couple of long bars here, and does some great pieces all in a row that's going to help her knock this down back to a safe height, and a little bit of work to do, but this should all be doable for Sidnev, who's at 165, Cobra 342. Giovanni is back. Hello, Giovanni. All right, Sidnev brought her board all the way back to the bottom now, just trying to get set up again, start scoring. Tetris Sidnev, 198. It's a lot of burning. And Cobra is up 100. Oh, he's got a miss with that Z. I wonder if he's screen looking or kind of overshot it there. Not sure, but 390 here for Cobra, 221. Sidnev, about 170,000 point lead. And because they were both kind of high digging for a while, neither player's gotten a lot of separation line-wise like you're used to seeing. There's the dirty Tetris for Cobra, 417. Still at 150,000 point difference when the lines are close. All right, Laurie is back now. Laurie says, I had some measurements to do. I don't know what that means. You had measurements? Do I want to know? All right, Cobra now up high, trying to keep it open. Skims gets it. Tetris, 470. Tetris, Cobra, 495. He's got one more potentially available, but yeah, he's going to have to just take burns into 29. Sidnev into 29 at 325 and gets a Tetris immediately after. So low transition for Sidnev and kind of a medium-low transition for Cobra. Still a lot of Tetris to be played. 200 more lines until the level 39 super kill screen that players can potentially make use of. Tetris Cobra 573. Tetris Sidnev 452, 627 Cobra. Online fact, a cobra is a snake. In case you didn't know the meaning of Cobra's screen name, it's a snake. All right, Cobra. Would love a bar in the middle. Of course, the bar comes as soon as he can't use it. But he can use that one, and now he's opened up that right side. And the long bar goes down into column 10 for a Tetris. 723 for Cobra. 574 for Sidnev. So still about that 150,000 point lead. They've been kind of keeping pace with one another ever since Sidnev got out of that interminable dig. A Cobra is also a type of firework? I've never heard of that. Oh no, that left for Sidnev. The bar gets over, because of course it does, but we'll see if she can survive. It's a great L for the left. I mean, how is she getting these pieces over and surviving like this? It's just crazy. Okay, keeping that open. I mean, the pieces are just nasty. Oh, my word. Oh my goodness, a valiant attempt, but let me tell you, like, that high on the screen, on that color screen, whatever, and then with the interference on the TV, like, that is tough. Yeah, I mean, that was just like one dig and then just other dig. So Cobra gonna take a game here. All right, both players are ready. Sidnev is up 2-1. Cobra needs to win to force a deciding game 5. He was already down. Two to nothing. Came back, won game 3. So yeah, comeback time, Cobra says. He's feeling confident, feeling good. But it's a tough draw. Sidnev is as tough a draw as you're going to get in any Tetris tournament. All right, Cobra says no. Just say no to perfect clear setup. I was playing Nestris.org, and I had a perfect clear, and I was connected to Nestris.org, and then I reviewed my placements, and like getting set up for the perfect clear wasn't even in the top 5 of things I should have done with the piece that I had, which just convinced me, like, okay, yeah, perfect clear maybe isn't good. But it was literally like, yeah, don't set up for the perfect clear. It was like right there. Computer says no. $183 for Cobra, 142 for Sidnev. Sidnev uncovers that right side well. And now is just waiting on a bar. Tetris Sidnev, another Tetris Sidnev, both dirty. Dan V says, yeah, but computers have no emotions. Well, that's true because you do get a little emotional boost from getting a perfect clear. You feel excited. And the other thing is you know how to deal with a empty board, right? You're just used to playing an empty board. It's, you usually know exactly what to do. But computer says no. Okay, Tetris for Sidnev 260. There's one Cobra 297. Oh yeah, me versus Marts on friendlies. I mean, I can't say no to Marts, but I was not really. My heart was not in it. I'm happy Marts got the win. $367 for Cobra, $270 for Sidnev. Your computer feels sad when you stream a Vandy versus Marts match, though. Why would it be sad? I mean, Kingsman, you saw what happened when Vandy gets on the screen, right? Oh, people go nuts. I don't know. They're probably like, please get this guy off the screen. I'll pay you any amount of bits that I have to get this guy off the screen. That's probably what it was. 364 for Sidnev, 460 for Cobra. Oh, I will say a lot of bits came onto the channel. Maybe you're gonna have me on again there, King. 506 for Cobra. 411 for Sidnev, and that is not a good looking setup on the left side of the board. She's able to get in a spin. She's gonna set up dirty. Because why not? And there is that Tetris 437. 529 for Cobra. Me versus Zero's dad? I mean, I it's fine. I've just never really met him. I have no connection to him. I haven't really met the kid too much. So I don't know why he'd want to play me specifically. 599 now, 622 for Cobra through 117 lines. All right, so Cobra with another Tetris 645. If he perfects out from here, he could get 3 more, but with that setup on that column 8 and 9, and I feel like a burn is going to happen. There is a Tetris Cobra. I mean, he would have to have 3 bars, right? He's going for it. There's 2. He would have to have 2 more bars to get it. 690 for Cobra. There is 1 bar. What the heck? And another bar, and Cobra gets the 714. Transition into 19. That is utterly crazy. I was like, yeah, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get enough bars. He got enough bars. So 744 for Cobra on 20. 678 for Sidnev. And, Sidnev got a heck of a pace here, but, Cobra is just like crazy. That 700K transition. Cobra's like, yeah, I don't care about the tournament. I just want the 700K. So, all right, Tetris, Cobra, or maybe Cobra's like, yeah, I actually need a 700K transition to have a chance against Sidnev. 826 Cobra, 734 for Sidnev. Dan V says, bro got like 8 bars for the last 3 Tetrises. Yeah, true. Tetris Sidnev 766. Another Tetris Sidnev, 823. Oh, Cobra set up dirty, but has to knock it down. Only gets a triple here. 898. 856 Sidnev. She gets a Tetris. 886. Ahead by 5 lines. Back by 14,000. Tetris Sidnev 952 and another one. And Sidnev now ahead by 8 lines, but does have a score lead right now. Cobra going to take it back with a couple Tetrises, 830, but both players have maxed out. They're on 26. Cobra gets one. So they're tied in lines right now. Cobra ahead by 46,000 points. And it's like, you think you're going to get a 700K transition and you're going to be like way ahead. And it's like, what do I have to do? Sidnev now with the 1.1. Cobra set up dirty. And there's the dirty for Cobra. He's got the 1.1. He's now into 28. Longbar goes down. That's just a triple. He's setting up the 1 row off the bottom. Tetris Sidnev into 29 at C24. That's a 1.2. He's going to miss with that S piece. And Cobra just trying to bring his stack down. Sidnev trying to bring her stack down. And I don't know, kind of some safe stacking going on both sides. So maybe both of them just trying to wait the other out. And Cobra is like having none of it. No, gets a Tetris C32. Sidnev sets up for a Tetris D08. So, all right, they took a little break, see if someone was going to top out early. Nothing doing. Now they're going for it. Tetris Cobra C84. Cobra sets up again, gets another one. D30 in the lead, but has to bring this down. Trying to get set up again. Tetris for Sidnev, D75. Cobra with one, D88. So they're just trading the lead back and forth. Sidnev maybe trying to set up in the middle. Has a ton of stuff piled up in column 10. So Sidnev will be trying to go center well at least a couple of times. There's a triple. No, just going to bring that over. Cobra, E44. There's a Tetris for Cobra at E88. Tetris Sidnev, F02. Cobra setup gets one, F42. There's one, Sidnev, F48. The seesaw battle back and forth. Tetris Cobra, F89. That board climbing for Sidnev. That's going to be a top out for Sidnev at F60, and Cobra has the rollover. Cobra has the rollover and takes game number 4. An F60 for Sidnev. Cobra getting droughted here on 38. The line doesn't get over. It doesn't matter. Cobra going to take that one. Oh my word. Game number 5. The winner goes to the top 8 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Get marinated? What? What does that mean? I love it. I don't even know the context. I know that I love it. Oh, Okay, both players with the solo pushdown points and Tetrises. Cobra looking for his first top 8 finish. Sidnev looking to go on a run, try to get back to those finals. Get another Masters victory. 114 for Cobra. 114 at 136 for Sidnev. Player 425618. Isn't chat for someone to just coming from nowhere and say stuff? Yeah, you can, you can just be reasonable person. That's all. It's easy. 186 Cobra, 164 for Sidnev. Sorbet Banana, can you say stuff? Yeah, you specifically can say stuff. Tricky Pete asking Kingsman, could you verify the max out turkey story? Dirty Tetris Sidnev, 190,000, 210 for Cobra. It's true. You don't even know what I said, Kingsman, but he saw it. But the story is that it was Thanksgiving. He saw turkey. He was so motivated, and he's like, all right, well, I got nothing to do before that turkey comes out, but I'm feeling hungry. And he transmuted that hunger for turkey into the will and the focus to max out the game. And he just was playing a casual game, but somehow the turkey inspired him. 303 for Cobra, 263 for Sidnev. I don't know what's going on in chat right now. What I do know is that Cobra is at 306 and Sidnev is at 286. And that both players are Tetrising. All right, Tetris Sidnev 354, 359 for Cobra. I need to stand up here. I feel like I'm developing a deep vein thrombosis. All right, Sidnev set up for a dirty Tetris. That is 5 or 6 rows up. Gets it, 382. And another Tetris column 10, 405. Both players at, 405, one line apart, super close. All right, Tetris for Sidnev, 496. 457 Cobra. Gilded Lizard says, all my homies hate deep vein thrombosis. Yeah, you should. Don't get one. Get a comfortable chair and stand up and walk around once in a while. 505 for Cobra, 564 for Sidnev. All right, 610 for Sidnev. There's a Tetris 633. And a Tetris for Cobra, a 600K transition for him. And Sidnev with the bar also has a 600K transition, 657. So more high transition hijinks from these two. Sounds like a Kingsman thing to say. Kingsman says hijinks a lot, right? I'd imagine. 707 Sidnev now on 2673 for Cobra. Remember, we still have 2 more matches after this. So we have SV versus... Well, no, not SV. Sorry, Dan V versus Eyeball. And then winner of that versus the winner of this. Yeah, I have a standing desk, but I'm not currently standing. Okay. Oh, there's a split triple for Sidnev. Good tuck on the left. 731 Sidnev. 764 Cobra. All right, long bar down, Tetris, Sidnev. She's going to survive all that. Get that Tetris, 776. Cobra, 798. Tetris for him, 827. All right, Cobra kind of holding out for that T-spin, but T just not coming. I think T-spin drought almost worse than long bar drought. And there's a dirty for Cobra, 894. 844 Sidnev. Sidnev with the Vits, hiding, waiting. Sidnev going to fill in the Vits, take the triple down. Cobra set up column 4. And Sidnev just trying to keep that well open. And there's the Tetris finally for Sidnev. Cobra gonna uncover, recover, uncover. Trying to keep it open. And gets the bar down. 978 for Cobra. He's got the max out now on 28. Set up again in column 3. And Sidnev is into 29 at 991. Tetris, Sidnev, A27. A88 for Cobra. Tetris, Sidnev, A65. Tetris, Cobra, B28. But that square doesn't get all the way to the left, so gonna have to burn that away. A bar will do it. Tetris, Sidnev, B44. B44 for Cobra, too. Right. Sidnev trying to down stack here. Uncovers that little gap. Oh, recovers it. That left side is gonna be tough for Sidnev. And that's going to be a top out. Sidnev at B53, and Cobra is good. On level 32, Cobra is going to the top 8 for the first time in like an instant classic of a match. What a crazy matchup. Sidnev and Cobra. Cobra does enough in a match in which he got a 700K transition, but nearly almost lost the match. Just a heroic comeback. Cobra was down 2-0, right? Were you down 2-0? Whatever. He was behind. I think it was 2-0. He was back. This is a reverse sweep, right? Oh my word. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.